Hi guys, it's Jaja with Two Fortunes. Thank you so much for coming back. And I have a question for you guys. What are you guys going to be doing with your stimulus checks? You know, we are headed into the third round of the stimulus checks, and I am going to provide you 5 ways on how you could spend your stimulus check, or what 5 ways you can do with your stimulus check. And if you haven't already checked the status of your stimulus check, you know, whether it's going to be direct deposited into your bank account or if you're going to be mailed a check in the mail, I will leave a link in the description box below from the IRA so that you can check the status of your stimulus checks. Number 1, pay your most urgent needs first. And this is at the very top of my list just because these are a necessity, not just for you, but for anybody living in your household. So these include, you know, groceries, these include necessities, these include your bills, you know, like your electric bill, your water bill, a gas bill, internet bill. These are urgent or needed items for your house, and it's important to prioritize these bills so that you can stay up to date on your bills, or you can stay current and have your electricity stay on during the winter so you can use the heater, or during the summer so you can use the AC. So it's very important that you get these needs taken care of first with this stimulus check. And if you've already filed your taxes for 2020 and you just happen to owe the IRS, or you happen to owe your local state, this can also be prioritized into paying your taxes. Pay off your debts. One way to secure your financial future is to reduce your debt. A significant payment to pay down a credit card bill or a loan will help reduce the amount of interest paid on an account carrying a balance. And it could be, you know, a large balance. And what I always like to say or think, the less interest you have to pay, the more funds you'll have available in the future. So I would also prioritize, you know, what debts you can pay off first, and you can maybe start with the littler bills first and then go up to the larger debts, or vice versa, you know, start with the larger debts first, then move down to the smaller debts. Because again, the larger debts or the larger balances have the more interest. So I recommend starting with the larger debts so that you pay less interest on them as you pay it off. Start or add to an emergency fund, savings fund, or a rainy day fund. I cannot stress how important it is to have an account where you're putting money aside for emergencies, you know, for saving, for a rainy day. And times are changing, the world is changing, and life happens. You never know what's going to happen, and when it does happen, you want to make sure that you are comfortable enough with taking care of what needs to be done. And the funds that you have set aside, you know, can be equal to an amount that you spend on expenses for 3 to 6 months. I always like to recommend having, you know, at least 6 months of money set aside in case anything happens. And the stimulus check most likely won't cover, you know, having to save for 3 to 6 months, but it's definitely a good starting point. If you have dependents that you've, you know, filed on your previous taxes, and you happen to get the additional stimulus for those dependents, it could be, you know, your kids, for example. I would start thinking about, you know, starting a savings account for your kid, or a college savings account for your kid, because not only do you want to set aside funds for yourself for, you know, emergencies or whatever, but you also want to start thinking about your kids' future as well. Investments. Investments is about building the kind of investment portfolio that will provide you with income for later in life and for the rest of your life. You know, it could be anything from like retirement or, you know, something sooner. It could be stocks, it could be real estate. I know that one's very surprising, but it could very well be real estate. With long-term investments, you are accepting a certain amount of risk in pursuit of higher rewards. This generally means equity type investments like stocks and real estate. They tend to be the best long-term investments because of their potential, you know, for capital appreciation. And my husband and I, we both have our own accounts with Robinhood. With Robinhood, you get to choose how much you want to invest, and they convert from dollars to parts of a whole share. They customize your portfolio with, you know, pieces of different companies and funds to help reduce risk. The trades are placed during the market hours, and you'll always know what the share price are. So if you sign up now on Robinhood, you can claim your first free stock. I will leave a link in the description box below so that you can check that out. If you want to own real estate over and above an owner-occupied home, or if you don't want to do the whole rental real estate, there's a third option. You can invest in real estate investment trusts, or REITs for short. The advantage with REITs is that you can invest in them the same way you do with stocks. So you buy into the trust and you participate in the ownership and profits of the underlying real estate. The return of the REITs is generally coming from either mortgage financing or equity ownership. You can buy or sell your REITs position anytime you like. Retirement. No one ever says they wish they have saved less for retirement. Because the stimulus payment won't be taxed, you're putting it into a Roth IRA or a 401k through your employer, and it triples its, you know, it makes it triple tax-free because you never pay taxes on it, and it grows tax-free, and you can withdraw it when you retire at tax-free.